Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down the communication blueprint of Jeff Bezos. It's the system he used to turn simple ideas into a global empire. And you'll see that its secrets are surprisingly simple to learn and use yourself.
So think about it. No matter what you do, what's the one skill that underpins pretty much all success? It's being able to get your ideas heard, understood, and, most importantly, acted upon. In this crazy world of noise and information, effective communication isn't just some soft skill, it's a genuine superpower.
And hiring managers agree. So, who's one of the all-time masters of this skill? Jeff Bezos. Today we're going to reverse engineer his communication system, a blueprint for turning just about any vision into a reality. So, let's get into it.
Okay, the first pillar of the Bezos Blueprint is what I like to call his simplify superpower. And look, this is not about dumbing your ideas down, not at all. It's actually about the genius of making them incredibly, powerfully clear.
Here's the thing Bezos got. He understood that simple language creates what psychologists call cognitive ease. See, our brains are just wired to trust things that we can process easily. So, choosing a simple word like use over a fancy one like utilize isn't just a style choice. It's actually a strategic move that makes your ideas way more persuasive.
And you know what? This isn't just a Bezos trick. The legendary Warren Buffett does the exact same thing. To make these super complex financial ideas clear, he literally imagines he's writing his famous shareholder letters to his sisters. It's a little mental trick he uses to force himself to cut out the jargon and just get straight to the point.
And make no mistake, this kind of clarity is a practice skill. It is not some natural gift. And we have proof. Just look at Bezos' own shareholder letters. Over 2 decades, you can see he deliberately simplified his writing. His sentences got shorter, and the reading level dropped from college level all the way down to 10th grade. It just goes to show that anyone can get better at this.
But look, clear language is really just the beginning. The second pillar, right to win, is all about using the act of writing as a tool to forge your arguments and make them bulletproof before you even try to persuade anyone.
So back in 2004, Bezos did something that was, well, pretty radical at the time. He banned PowerPoint in all of his senior meetings. Why? Because he knew that bullet points and slick slides can let people hide fuzzy, half-baked thinking. So he replaced them with something that forced absolute clarity.
He called it the study hall. And here's how it works. Meetings start with everybody in the room silently reading a detailed 6-page memo for up to 30 minutes. This forces the person who wrote it to really think through their entire argument, and it makes sure that everyone else is fully informed and on the same page before a single word of discussion even begins.
So why is a well-structured argument so critical? Well, because failing to grasp one can be absolutely catastrophic. Just think about this. When the founders of Netflix pitched their company to Blockbuster, the CEO famously laughed them out of the room. He saw the numbers in front of him, but he completely missed the compelling story of where the entire industry was headed. And the consequences of that failure, they were swift and they were total. Within just 1 decade of that meeting, Blockbuster went from a 9,000-store giant to completely bankrupt. I mean, it's a stunning collapse, all caused by a failure to understand a new narrative.
To make absolutely sure his teams were building the right narratives, Bezos came up with the third pillar: work backwards. This is Amazon's secret weapon for innovation, and it forces every single idea to start and end with the customer.
The process itself is simple, but it's really profound. Before anyone writes a single line of code for a new product, the team has to write the future press release for it. This forces them to define, in plain language, what the customer benefit is before they build a thing. And the logic is simple. If the press release doesn't sound exciting, the product probably won't be either.
Let's actually see how this works by breaking down the original press release for the Amazon Kindle, a product that was born from this exact method. As you can see, it follows a really simple, powerful structure. First, it starts with a dead simple headline. No fluff, just what is it? And then a subheading that hooks you with the most important customer benefits. And just notice the language here from the actual press release. Download books in less than a minute, with no PC required. Now, these weren't just features. They were direct solutions to the biggest headaches people had with the e-readers of that time. And that gets us to the core of the idea.
See,
the press release forces you to solve the real customer problem. For the Kindle, the goal wasn't just to make an electronic book. It was, in Bezos' own words, to make the device itself disappear, so you could just get lost in the story.
And the results of that kind of customer obsession? Well, you create something that people genuinely, truly love. Oprah's famous endorsement wasn't some lucky break. It was the totally predictable outcome of a process that was designed from day one to create customer delight.
Now, these three pillars, simplify, right to win, and work backwards, they're all powered by one final, absolutely crucial element. And it's not a tactic. It's the core mindset that drives everything in Amazon. It's always day one. This was Bezos' mantra, his way of fighting off complacency. It's really a commitment to stay hungry, to keep experimenting, to embrace failure, and to always remain customer-obsessed, to act like a startup forever. Because as he warned, day two is stasis, and that's followed by decline.
So the Bezos Blueprint is actually pretty clear, right? Simplify your message, write to sharpen your thinking, and always work backwards from the customer. This isn't just a guide for building a trillion-dollar empire. It's a powerful tool for anyone who wants to turn a great idea into a reality. The only question left is the one right there on your screen. What headline will you write?